That's an amazing delivery.
Do you know who that reminds me of? That was Andrew Flintoff when he's trying.
The nightmare.
Around the wicket to the left-hander there, just being able to swing it away.
Broad in that rest. Broad did a great job of the same thing. There are the X factors for the heat. Wait! Split up again. Batting difficult early.
Yeah, as it was last night as well. There wasn't quite as much movement in the first innings last night, but the wicket was just a little bit on the slow side. It cost Perth scores a couple of early wickets.
I was just wondering, look at those X factors. Just have a look at this, Mark Steckity. We saw this happen to the Renegades. That back foot, is that cutting that back line? If it is, it's a no ball. Oh yeah. Beautiful player. Usman Khawaja, that's a classic stroke square of the wicket.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Classic back foot. Cover drive or cut shot. Didn't try and overhit it, just used the pace that Steckety's giving him outside the off stump. He's away with his first boundary.
Yeah, that will settle the nerves in the middle of the bat. A few plays and misses. Close LBW decision. Good bumper, good presence.
Looked like good pace too, that. 43 k's an hour.
Yeah, the ball skipping through. Usually in Canberra, it is a fraction on the low side. That's good bounce, good carry, good pace. It's right on the button too. It's interesting as well, punters, that Alex Hales, we're halfway through this power play and he hasn't faced the ball. He's been their aggressor at the top of the order. Two hands on that. Just a single to finish. Two done. Up for single. Champions League on Sony. WWE on Sony. Australian Open. Euro 2020. Olympic Games. Tokyo 2020 on Sony. How hard it is when you follow through to latch onto a return catch, especially punter when it's hit as hard as that.
Yeah, that was right out of the middle, JB. Just a real reaction from Steckity. He did a good job to actually get a glove on it, because if he didn't, that was going to beat Ben Lachlan as well. Beat off. So there were two really good pieces of fielding there. And this might just answer our question as well, Hodgie. The fact that Bartlett's not bowling the third over might see his night over again.
Jeez.
Just a little stat on Bartlett. He's bowled 7 balls to Khawaja now. Got him out once. Potentially had him out twice, and for no runs. Pretty good matchup that in the Brisbane Heat.
Yes.
Looked around the corner.
Wait.
Alex Hales will get a look at the bowling now. He hasn't seen much of it. So Ben Lachlan a fraction more skinny. Slightly round arm. A good change of pace, good variation, good bumper. Two different types of bowlers. Xavier Bartlett's tall, hit the wicket bowler with some shape. Ben Lachlan won't get a lot of swing. Yeah, it's interesting. Xavier Bartlett, he couldn't have done any more to try and ask the skipper for another over. Nice shot. Player out there on the fence, become a couple. Ben Lachlan, of course, took one of the great catches in any form of cricket, let alone the BBL, a couple of nights ago. Talk us through this, Rick.
Well, I think Hodgie was on at the time as well. Hodgie thought he might have just had a little bit of mayo early on, a couple of short steps in there, so he got a good dive at it late, but no, what a catch. What did we say? He was 38 years of age, didn't he, as well, to move like that on the boundary in the one hand, in that right hand.
Oh, no! Just found its way over the top.
So I thought that was out for all money. I don't think he mistimed his jump or not then, but when he left, it just looked like he was going to catch it easily above his head in both hands.
Just got the timing wrong. Just made a meal of that. Almost like he didn't see it.
It's almost like he pulled out of that late. Sure, who was there?
Steckity, I think it was. Have another look. Reckon it was. Just got the jump all wrong.
Well, he's actually just said it's gone straight into the lights.
Yeah, all right. Actually, I've got to mention this while I can. Ben Lachlan, after taking that catch, we're good friends, messaged me and he said, "Oh, listen to the audio of Fox." Said, "Can I get the audio from 7 because I heard it was better?" I said, "Mate, I was commentating. Do you really want to listen to what I said?" Might have dodged 2 massive bullets there. The Sydney Thunder. LBW probably should have been given out, and then a catch probably should have been taken. 2 down inside the first 3 overs. Have a look at this. Just totally got it wrong.
Yeah, well, we've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, as he said that he lost it in the lights, because that just looked like it was going to be straight down his throat. No, one thing, you don't want to be giving these 2 batsmen too many chances, because they are very, very dangerous.
Squeezes it past point. 2 to finish the over. 3 done. None for 16.
This court is a little rougher than last year. Last year was a lot smoother, the actual surface. Oh boy, the young ballcat's been hit there. And Rafa showing immediate concern. She's good, I think. Oh, that's a wonderful moment, though. Good fuel.
Australian Open starts Monday, 8th February, 5:30 a.m. onwards. Live on Sony Sports Channels.
So big moment last night. Mitch Marsh given out down the leg side, wasn't out. And pretty clearly displaying to the umpire that it wasn't out. $5,000 fine for him. Now, I think we all know Mitch pretty well. He'll be disappointed with how that all transpired. He's lucky to only get a $5 grand fine.
Yeah, I think he's very lucky, actually, JB. Obviously disappointed, yes, it was a horrible decision. But I even said on air last night that I'd be really surprised if he got off without a suspension, and he has. So he's lucky, and the Perth Scorchers are lucky to have him playing.
Yes.
Picks out a man that doesn't exist down there. Usman Khawaja, great field awareness, always has had. That's good skill, just riding that swing. A late swing from Steketee. You can see just opening the face, riding it through that vacant third man area. So good work from Usman Khawaja. This is a big over, this. Really important for both sides to go out of the power play. The Thunder with momentum into the change of game, probably see some spin. And the Heat, well, they want to pick up someone and get rid of these 2 before the field spreads.
Yeah, well, they changed that field, Hodgie, because of that great shot that Khawaja played last over at Steketee. They put a deep backward point in instead of a third man, and then he runs the one down to third man, and they reverted back to a pre-regulation field now. Great piece of work that from Jimmy Pearce.
Could easily have been 4 more.
Well, that was the other one, wasn't it, from Steketee? That was the one that was meant to be the big in-swinger. He's been trying to take the ball away more often than not. You can see there just a change of wrist angle. Magnificent take.
Well, it's just with this swing, there has to be a fraction of moisture under the surface for it to be able to be swinging this much early. It's usually pretty dry and pretty flat.
Wait, no!
Well, I'll tell you what, Hodgie, I'm sure you did watch the start of last night's game, but there was some big puffs coming out of the wicket early last night, almost like the grass clippings were sort of blowing off. But we haven't seen any of that tonight. We've seen a lot better carry as well. It looks like there's more pace in it tonight than there was last night.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of good short balls which have carried through. Jimmy Pearson have to dive away to one way down leg side. So there is pace, there is carry.
Geez, Mel, this kebab's good.
I knew you'd be eating somewhere later. Just don't get any of it on that jacket, all right?
It's nice that you're
Too late.
It's nice that you're working tonight, JB. I thought you'd gone, but just to give you an idea of the conditions here, a lot cooler than they were last night. There was a real humidity. There was a thickness to the air last night. We've still got the jacket on where I was taking it off last night, but the ball has been moving around, and I think the Thunder have done well to be no wicket down. I know Kawadri looked out at square leg, let me tell you, that LBW, but they've done well, and it was what the Scorchers were unable to do, get through this tough start.
That jacket slaps is a real Peter Jackson special. They don't want kebab sauce all down the front of it.
No, listen, I had a bucket below, and you should see the chicken, and I went the hot chili too.
Oh, there he is.
So that might play some havoc a little bit later, that hot chili. I doubled up. But it's chili, mate. You needed a kebab. I haven't had a kebab for months.
Love it.
You don't like this jacket?
No, I love it. No, I'm giving it the ultimate.
I've got a little bit of off-white bone there.
No touch on the way through. This is a good start for the Brisbane Heat. 1 ball left in the power play, only none for 22. Amazing.
Yeah. And the good thing they've done is they've restricted Hales in his scoring rate, because he's striking at 100 so far, and he's just faced the 8 balls, which is another real bonus for the Brisbane Heat. He's done a lot of damage early on. He's actually struck at 179 for all of the power play over so far in this tournament. Change of field now as well. They had a deep point in place. He's come up, deep mid wicket goes out. So they're a deep back square and a deep mid wicket. He has to get straight. He can't afford to get outside the off stump at all.
Swing of the bat, nothing on it. That winds up a brilliant power play for the Heat.
Yeah, wide on the crease, angling in. Hales had been starved with the strike and had not been able to get away, so good pressure build up from the Brisbane Heat. Tries to heave it over the long on, gets really high on the blade. Gregory at mid-on takes a very, very simple catch. That's a huge wicket for Mark Steckity and for the Brisbane Heat. So they strike at the end of the power play. Hales goes 1 for 22.
Off a brilliant power play that. Probably should have had 2 wickets, truth be known, but 1 for 22 is a good start for Brisbane. Skipper's out there, Callum Ferguson, and he's got work to do. 1 for 22 at the end of the power play is a good result for Brisbane. Well, Callum Ferguson, he's got some form behind him. 380 runs so far in BBL 10, average of 31, strike rate of 123. He's a classy player. All round the ground, he's got some cricket smarts. He's led this side really well so far. He's got a challenge on his hand.
That's your middle one there, yeah.
Brisbane Heat really performed well so far tonight. Restricted Sydney Thunder to their second lowest power play in BBL 10. Marnus Labuschagne, we've got mic'd up and open, and Marn, most of those plans worked.
Yeah, the boys held that top of the stump slant really well. This ball that we got is swinging around a bit, so I think we just went with the extra over here just to see if we can keep putting pressure on them.
No one, yes, well done. And Marnus, was there any discussion after the first over that Xavier Butler bowled to keep him, or give him another one after that impressive over?
Look, I was definitely itching. It's always tough when you come in, you got some set plans and you got some ideas on what we're thinking for the back end. But yeah, look, that was a beautiful over, and we want to see him again. Well done, Joey. Well done, Joey. Well done.
And Martin, as we let you go, they've been coming out nicely for yourself as well.
Yeah, it has been nice. It's been nice to get wickets. Sometimes you bowl better and you don't get wickets. In this tournament, it's been nice to sort of add some value with the ball and help us get into situations to win games.
Good luck, leave it with you. Swung away by Callum Ferguson.
We heard Marnus just saying then that they'll just go for one more over, meaning one more overs with the quicks. They'll go straight to spin now, you can guarantee that. Swepson or even Labuschagne's been used very early on, quite a few occasions by Chris Lynn. It's a perfect time for the spinners to come on. There's a really good build-up of pressure. It means the batsmen have got to look to be really aggressive against the spinners. Obviously, when they do that, the spinners are a much bigger chance of taking wickets.
It's interesting, isn't it, to see the way that, well, we saw Adelaide strikers really just sluggish at the top. You can see that the Sydney Thunder, they've had intent. They tried to score, it's just been the swing, the sea movement that the Brisbane Heat have been able to execute under good pressure, keep the line and legs, bowl to their field, be really switched on. Crashed into the offside. Really well struck. Boundary gets little Fergie rolling 1 for 28 after 5. Maxi.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I just want to talk about the build-up towards the Alex Hales dismissal. I thought the way that the Brisbane Heat bowlers bowled to Usman Khawaja was brilliant. They kept the ball away from him, especially Mark Steckby, taking the ball away. One of the keys for Uzi during the early innings when he can't score, he looks to try and lap, and the ball's continually going away from him. He finds it very difficult to get that angle to get it over 45. So that continuous build-up of dot ball pressure, not being able to play one of his favourite shots to get him away, I think contributed massively to the Hales dismissal.
Glenn Maxwell, brilliant part of the coverage. Great to have the stars of the game, Punter, able to tell us exactly what's going on.
Absolutely. Plays that shot pretty well himself too, doesn't he?
Does. Alex Carey last night was a brilliant addition. Modern players jumping into the commentary box is great. Mitch Swepson talking about the fact that spin bowling wasn't far away. Here it is. It's a good call, Punter, there's no doubt. Get him in early, and Mitchell Swepson, he's had a tough task lately, bowling to a lot of left-handers. The Adelaide strikers had it before in their top 6. And he did a remarkable job to be able to keep the ball away from their heading zones. Picked up a few wickets, and this will suit him. Even though Usman Khawaja's at the crease, Callum Ferguson is a good player of spin, but different dimensions to this ground. He's got great control, and you can see his body language after being with the Australian unit. I think it's just grown, and he smarts as well.
Well, Ferguson is a big sweeper against spin, and he likes to use his feet and go inside out over extra cover. They're his go-to shots. He also sit back and wait for anything they can cut. He's very strong square of the wicket on the offside. He's got the 4 men inside the circle, 2 backward points and cover in the mid-wicket. Swepson will know that Ferguson will want to sweep him as well, so he'll make sure he keeps his line really straight. Perfect start.
Australian Open, Euro 2020, on nothing team, Doctor 2020, on Tony. On Tony's Sports Network, on Tony's Sports Network, on Tony's Sports Network, on Tony's Sports Network, on Tony's Sports Network.
Well, this is the first over from Xavier Bartlett for the Brisbane Heat. Can't get any more impressive than this. Spot on. Should have had Usman Khawaja LBW. There's some late swing to Alex Hales. And there's a good chance, boys, in a couple of overs' time, he's parked on the bench and subbed out of this game. We've seen it before. Really interesting talking point about performance and whether you're up and about on that particular day. It looked like he was tuned in for a big day, Xavier Bartlett.
Yeah, as Marnus said though, Hodgie, it upsets all their plans for what they're thinking in the back end of the innings. That's what they're thinking about. That's what they did in Brisbane, wasn't it? They brought Orkle in and bowled 4 overs from 10 to 20. No doubt, and he did a pretty good job, so I think they'll be thinking about that again tonight. His experience, his pace, hits the wicket nice and hard, he bowls a reasonable Yorker. I think that's what they'll do again.
The fact that we haven't seen him again after that outstanding first over would almost guarantee that that's the end of his night.
100%. Yeah, just on that, I was just with the X factor. I like the point that you can actually be subbed out at any part of the game, not wait till the 10 over mark. So if Xavier Bartlett's done now, sub him out after his first over, looking towards the future. What do you think? Save him for later.
My worry with it is that there's only 1 point of a 40-over game that you can make your call, and that's at the 10-over mark. That seems a bit limiting to me. I don't know how to fix that, but I'd like there to be another place where you could potentially swing it. There are the X factors, by the way. Wildermuth, we know, can bat. Orkle, as Punter said, came into the game a couple of nights ago, did a really good job. Candrew and Davies for the Thunder.
These guys, if I can just come in now, that you just feel the pressure's building on the Thunder batting at the moment. The fact they got Hales out, he's been the most prolific run scorer in the whole of the BBL. In the final, if you lose that player, it's up to the others to pick up the slack. So, Punter, you were talking about the form line of someone like Khawaja in the finals. They're going to need to muster all of that because last night meant so much. These guys watching intently what happened last night. That was Andrew Ty at the end of last night, wasn't it? The final ball. No ball.
Free hit, surely, Slats.
It's a free hit. It was not bouncing. That was the difference. But I'm just thinking that 167 that wasn't good enough for a victory batting first last night is something Thunder are going to have in their mind. And at the moment, they're not looking to get many more than that with their current run rate. So you just get a sense that, something has to break. You have to have a big over where they get a few away, or there's another wicket going to fall.
That's like one of your balls in the nets, Slats, that one.
Come on.
I'm not sure I've seen that before, actually. The ball get all the way to the keeper on the foot.
Mine was hand to head.
Free hit. Big swing, Ferguson. It's going to be caught. Free hit, of course. So just a single's a good result.
Actually would have been a wide as well. That was a long way outside the line. Fair to say he got that one slightly wrong, JB.
That's unbelievable. That actually went sort of 10 foot over the batsman's head. It's hard to bowl that ball. Hammered by Khawaja. Really well hit.
Yeah, and I know he hasn't quite got away yet, Usman Khawaja, but to me he looks like he's in really good touch. He's actually hitting the middle of the bat a lot. It's unfortunate for him so far tonight when he's hitting a good shot out of the outfield. He's picked out the man in the deep. Even that there, that was really well struck again. Yeah, Flats was talking about it. He makes a good point. With 10 runs and over from here, gets him to 174. That's been about the average score batting first, but it hasn't been enough to win. 189's been the average winning score in the last 11 games. But they've got plenty of power. Still got Billings, Ross, Cutting, Sams. They can pick it up from here for sure.
Early call of 2. Might be more than that, it is. 2 boundaries in a row for the Oz.
That's nice momentum for Usman Khawaja. Looked like he was going to get it, but 4 to his name. It's the end of the over. It's 146.
Brought us such joy over the journey, Usman Khawaja. Good looking player, beautiful timer of the ball. Plays classic cricket shots.
Khawaja. He's just starting to get the wheels really rotating nicely here. Back-to-back boundaries to finish out this over. 2 pull shots, just got way too short there, Gregory. One shot he is particularly strong on, Usman Khawaja, is that pull shot. He stands nice and still, gets the toe of the bat up nice and high, pivots and rotates nicely off his back foot.
Ferguson drags it into the onside. Stekkety's had some big work to do it there. Hasn't done it all that well either, but that was good.
It hasn't been at his best in the field the last couple of games. Remember, he put down that catch the other night up at the Gabba as well. One from Alex Hales tonight that everyone thought he should have caught, that he lost in the lights and then a misfield on the boundary. It's amazing though, isn't it? When you're going bad, the ball just follows you.
Well, that one's into the gap. Bartlett can't reel that in, so this Thunder innings just starting to roll. 50 up.
It's nice footwork from the skipper. He's got the short ball that he wanted. Used the depth of the crease and found the gap at mid-wicket. I think you feel that he's just going to put the foot down here, try and get some momentum into the 10 over mark. Target that onside slog sweep. Try and open up the offside over cover. I think he's thinking boundaries, the skipper.
They've just changed the field now as well. They've taken Steckety out from deep mid-wicket, put him over to backward point.
Over the offside, beautifully struck. Cal Ferguson, bang, and that gentleman is gone.
Well, that wasn't quite as elegant as the catch we saw in the crowd last night. Tom it was last night, stuck out the right hand, took a catch in one hand and didn't spill a drop of beer. This was a little bit different. I reckon his wife cops a couple of
Just lost the foundation.
Just want to highlight how well Ferguson's played here. The pull shot that he hit before over mid-wicket was just a little bit short and it was a little bit fast. And Swepson knew that he couldn't bowl that same ball again because Ferguson was waiting for that. So he slowed it down, tossed it up, outside off stump. Ferguson read it, hit it beautifully over extra cover for 6.
13 off the over so far. Yes, there it was.
How do you point man there? That's in front.
Missed out, Usman Khawaja. He got what he wanted.
Exactly what he wanted. The reason, because of the pace of it as well, it was 95 k's an hour. So you've only got to get something on that, and that's a definite boundary.
He had the field that he wanted to, just one behind point. Now they've changed that, put 2 behind point for that exact shot. So mid-wicket's open now. Target the slog sweep and he gets the ball.
Good over for Sydney. 8 done, 1 for 60.
सर ये क्या आप कितनी बार गाड़ी खुद चला के आ जाते मुझे यहाँ से पिकअप करने ताकि मैं भी अपने बेटे के स्कूल तक आ सकूं इसलिए सर अरे कैडबरी डेयरी मिल्क कुछ अच्छा हो जाए कुछ मीठा हो जाए
For Australia in white ball cricket. The shirt's doing a bit. Good crowd. It's been a second home ground for the Thunder.
रमी कल्चर डाउनलोड नाउ क्योंकि खेलोगे तो खेलते रह जाओगे
Ashes a little bit, don't you?
He's taking the lot off.
Yeah, but I just think the colour of the jocks. If you go on with a bit of a green or a white,
I didn't think.
I can't say I've seen this for a long, long time.
He can't believe he's had to display them.
Well, normally you'd be running off into the dressing room. I mean, what is going on out there?
Or the other obvious thing, Slats, is you just take your box out of your jockstrap and put it down the front of your bike shorts.
Yeah, well, that's what we used to do, Rick. Have the speedos on the outside or something like that.
Let do a little bit of chafe every now and then, but
Yeah, well, it's got the crowd up and about, let me tell you.
I have watched, as you to have 35, 40 years worth of cricket. I've never seen a cricketer completely derobe on the ground. Martin, we got you?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever seen anything like this before?
No. Yeah, this is first for me.
He's taken the lot off.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stop at the gear and he was just going to put a box there, just back in the pants, but he gave us the full show.
प्लीज चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें.
Seen it all now. That is nuts.
I wouldn't like to be the 12th man that's trying to do the running repairs on that jockstrap on the sideline either, JB.
No, that's straight in the bin.
I've got to say, the security started running out. I mean, that's a $10,000 fine.
चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें और शेयर करें अपने दोस्तों के साथ.
Honestly, boys, I'm staggered.
We go back, Hodgie, to the 70s when the great Ian Chappell had to adjust that part of his equipment, and they reckon that he just aimed it at the committee room while he was adjusting it, so he got a double message sent. He claims it didn't happen. Right, but
चैनल को अभी सब्सक्राइब करें.
The photos can't be lying.
Evidence is pretty
Evidence is that he... that is amazing. All right, Usman's got his gear back.
शेयर करें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ ताकि वो सब देख सके.
Mindset after a long break like that, a little bit of banter from the Heat boys just to try and upset his rhythm. He was just starting to get going, hit a couple of boundaries, and this just might stop that rhythm. So nice little break, whether it was needed for or not. The Brisbane Heat, the sledging won't stop, no doubt about that.
Sydney Thunder after 8 overs, 60 for 1.
It's been awesome with the ball, Mark.
Please subscribe to the
9
channel.
wickets so far since coming back from Test duties. And the economy rate of just over 7 is super impressive.
All right, long delay done. Here we go.
Oh, Marty, I love it. So greedy.
Imagine if you got out that ball.
Great night.
After that long wait.
चैनल को अभी सब्सक्राइब करें, शेयर करें.
Oh, back to the well, man.
It's been very good so far, Labuschagne in this tournament with the Bulls. Bowled the 11 overs, but picked up 9 wickets in those 11 overs. There you can see there.
Okay.
Didn't stick.
Well, he's a very, very good fieldsman, but must be said, it's harder to catch that is. He actually put a few catches down off his own bowling. His elbow bangs into the ground.
Full toss. Land safe. He spoke to us on mic a while ago, Marnus, that he's got wickets with a couple of dirty drag downs and a couple of full tosses. That was almost another one.
Could have been another one for sure. This is a great start. This is a really good point for Chrisley, just to be able to use Marnus, try and get as many overs as he can to back end his quicks.
Oh, got it! Brilliant! Kawaja's got to go. Labuschagne strikes again.
Well, Hodgie, I reckon you bring up a really good point there. It just didn't look like he was quite with it after that break there, Kawaja. Even before that dismissal, he turned around and was talking to the wicketkeeper. He's lost a little bit of concentration, maybe not, or underestimated just how good of spin bowling option that Labuschagne has been for the Brisbane Heat so far in this tournament. So he picks up his 10th wicket now in his